Do you ever have a tickle in your throat when you're trying to talk? You know, a lot of my singers get it when they get a bit nervous and they feel that tension coming on, and they get that tickle in the back of their throat, and they have this overwhelming response that they have to cough. And sometimes it's so bad that they have this huge coughing fit right in the middle of a song, maybe right in the middle of an audition, which is very embarrassing. Has that ever happened to you? If you've had that weird tickle in the back of your throat when you're trying to speak and then you feel like you're going to cough, that's what this post is all about today. Hi, I'm Elisa James. I'm a holistic vocal coach and founder of HAPS Voice Pro. And I help corporate speakers, presenters, and all professional voice users learn great vocal production skills so they can share their message with the world in a clear and well-behaved voice every time. So what do we do about the tickle in the throat? You know, it comes down to a very simple thing. Sometimes it's called tongue root tension, TRT. And it's very, very well known with singing teachers and probably well known with speech coaches as well. And it really is just that. It's tongue root tension. Did you know that your tongue, it's a really, really long, strong muscle. It goes down the throat this way, about 2/3, and then it goes, down the mouth this way, and then it goes down the back of the throat this way as well. So it actually goes right down really close to where the larynx sits. Now the problem is, if you pull your tongue back and down too far, it's actually going to interfere with the movement of the larynx. So you can actually do it to yourself. Like pull your tongue back in your mouth and try to make a sound. Kermit the Frog! You'll notice that you can do a really good Kermit the Frog if you pull your tongue back and do really tight tongue root tension. Kermit the Frog! And people who sing like that are, for instance, sorry to say, if you like them, Cher and Shakira. They both sing with enormous tongue root tension. So I want you to listen to some singers now, or speakers, and see if you can feel and hear that sort of froggy sensation in the back of the throat. And that's the tongue root tension. Now, what do you do about tongue root tension? Well, first, you have to know that you have it. You have to identify it. So awareness is always the first step to fixing any voice issue, is awareness. I had tongue root tension, and I sometimes do still at times. If I get a bit nervous or, I get a bit fearful and I forget to breathe, I might pull my tongue back for a minute. And there's a lot of people who have tongue root tension who have gone through life finding that they had to hold their tongue for some reason. Maybe they were growing up in a space where it wasn't safe to speak up, in the era where children were seen and not heard. Well, lots and lots of my clients have had tongue root tension, not singers, but speakers, purely because it wasn't safe to speak up for themselves. And so they're literally holding their tongue back, holding their words, holding their tongue for a lot of their life. So you have to relax your muscles. Let your tongue fall to the floor of your mouth, just behind the row of bottom teeth here. And say ah. Ah. Now an ah shouldn't be oh. Can you hear my tongue absolutely strangling my sound? Oh. It sounds awful and it feels awful. So make sure your tongue is actually forward and down. Ah. Ah. So it's completely out of the way. Now there's a really fun test that we do as singers as to if we have tongue root tension or not, right? It's blowing a raspberry. So if you literally blow a raspberry, I'll try not to blow all over the camera. If you do it with no sound first, actually, that's the best way. You're literally just gently blowing air through the tongue and the bottom jaw and gently blowing it forward, and your tongue will come really, really, really forward. Now some people, this gets me really itchy here, some people can't even do that. People with really tight tongues, they end up going like this. they like literally can't relax their tongue at all. They do all these very, very weird facial expressions and their tongue is really, really tight. So the first step is to do it with no sound, in a really, really, really relaxed manner, and do it for as long as you can. The goal is at least 7 seconds or more with one breath. Okay, now if that's easy for you, then you're going to add sound. I've seen opera singers do this in the corridor at the conservatorium, just doing all their scales with the raspberry. It's really funny, but a really great way to relax the tongue and get the voice ready for voice work. So take a big breath and just make any sort of random gentle sounds with your voice box as you're rolling your tongue and doing that raspberry. So they're the 2 exercises that will really help loosen that tongue root tension and make sure that you have control over your tongue so that you don't go into that tickle and that coughing sensation when you're speaking. Now, a lot of people have that problem when they're speaking. So if this is you, these are 2 great exercises that you can practice to make sure that you're getting rid of that tongue root tension. And now another one that you might have difficulty with is this. Like literally blowing a TH sound through the teeth and the tongue and using a sound with that, like the word this, these, those, there. Any TH sound that's voiced, try to use that TH sound and really stick the tongue forward. Some people actually have their tongue too far back. There, these. And so it's actually too far back in the throat and it's going to cause problems. So you have to sometimes stick it out further than you need to train your tongue. It's okay to just get out of the cave for a little bit and be brave, get out of the cave. So there are your exercises. You've got your raspberry with no sound, you've got your raspberry with sound, and you've got your TH practices. So there are 3 things that you can do immediately to get rid of tongue root tension. And then when you're speaking, just be very aware that you can have a relaxed tongue and a relaxed jaw and a very natural speaking rhythm. And that will really help you get rid of that nasty tickly sound that always leads to a coughing fit when you're speaking. So I hope that helped today. I'm Elisa James, founder of HAPS Voice Pro. If you've got any comments or questions, or you'd like me to post a video for you, message me and let me know. I'd love to hear from you. Have a great day. Bye.